Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another RPG edition, RPG NightCup number 19 on a brand new map. We have RPG Inside the Vivid Plateau by M-Guy, a brand new map out of the microwave right here that is gonna be today's map for this competition. We are gonna start it off with 45 minutes of time attack. So the players, everyone that has joined in the server, there's no registration needed, so everyone that wants to participate can join in onto the server. Everyone will have the chance to set his fastest time. However, with these red times, you're not going to get any time. But players will have the chance to set the fastest possible time while we have some really good horns in the beginning of the track. So 45 minutes of time attack, and the top 50% will move on into the knockout phase, where we will be sorting out the drivers. The slowest drivers will get knocked out after each round, and it will be a knockout all up until the last player is standing. So, edition number 19, we had edition 18 not too long ago. So, we have a new chance for the drivers. A new chance for the drivers to prove themselves who is the best RPG NightCup participant. And we have this map right here, as I said, Inside the Vivid Plateau by M-Guy, which is a very pathfinding heavy map, so everyone that kind of gets into this map will have a hard time actually figuring out where to go first. But later on, it will be a lot better, and it will be more about optimizing your lines and finding your way through this very versatile map. You will see a lot about this map, of course. We have a lot of time here in the time attack, so there's plenty of time to talk about key parts, to see about what each part has to offer, because there's a lot that you will see, a lot of things that players might struggle with, or you know, a lot of possibilities right here on this map. So will be very interesting to see how the players will be approaching this. We have a TrackMania time of 7:32.80 by Skander, which is right now the fastest known time on this map. And we're following Testy Trolls from France through the first round. So we will just give everyone a little bit of screen time here and see how everyone will be performing. So you can see the timer on the right side, 43 minutes. So plenty of time. Even if you make mistakes, you can always reset and go for a new try. And I see some lag issues for the drivers. Not really sure what's up with that. People can't respawn or something. But that's probably mainly because the server is quite packed, and maybe the server isn't super stable. And we all know Mania Planet 4 doesn't really have the best server stability nowadays. So there might be some technical difficulties, but for now it seems fine-ish as we follow this player. It's actually Testify. Just saw it on the nameplate. It's actually Testify, a player that we have seen in various RPG competitions in the past, or in the near past. So Testify, definitely a good driver. Actually didn't recognize him by his nickname, but as soon as I saw his nameplate on the car skin, I knew very well what's up. So we're now entering this part, which is a very difficult pipe part, so to say. It is kind of an underground water section, like kind of an underground pipe right here, where, as I said, pathfinding will be very hard at first, because this is a maze, and you need to find the best route through this. So, we might see the one or other fuck up at some point if players, you know, get lost or just temporarily have a little stroke and forget where to drive. Then we might see some mistakes in this part. But since the players have warmed themselves up on this track, they have had a lot of time to practice. It shouldn't be too big of a problem for the drivers to get through this. But then again, you never know, especially when it heats up later in the knockout phase. You never really know what's really happening. As soon as the pressure kicks in, as soon as, you know, players start making mistakes, then you never really know what's happening. We have a lot of magnets here, as you can see, a lot of magnetic walls and magnetic pipes that the players have to navigate through as well. So for the players that are maybe not familiar with this, There are magnetic blocks in this game where you can just drive on. You can drive vertically, you can drive horizontally, you can drive upside down. So gravity will be completely defied on these blocks. However, of course you can't really go as fast as you want because the magnets have a limit as well. So if you approach them with too much speed or if you hit them badly, then you will of course fly off the magnet again. And that is of course something that you need to avoid. But yeah, you can see it's a very, very difficult track to get through. This is, for example, a magnetic pipe. Doesn't really seem like one, but it actually is. Maybe we will see it sooner or later. But yeah, there's a lot going on. So for the spectators and of course for the YouTubers, the time attack will be a good opportunity to get comfortable with the track and get used to the path. So we're still following Testify. But we will of course switch to some other drivers as well. Very interesting will be of course the top leaderboard on TrackMania. We have Scandia right now, who has the fastest time of a 7:32.80. Then we have Tourist, not too far behind, only half a second behind right now. He's sitting there with a 7:33.3. Then we have Ariana G with quite a big gap, 6.8 seconds behind the world record. He's on 3rd. Then we have Demos and Nano finishing up the top 5. Ben Sword on 6th. Then we have Favo on 7th. Socrado on 8th. Shoko on 9th. And Puke, aka Yuke, on 10th. Rounding off the top 10. So will be interesting to see. Of course, Skandir will be one of the favorites. He has been performing very well in previous casts. So in previous races, not casts, of course, in previous races. So he is looking to take a top position in this cup. So we can maybe follow him and see how he's doing. Just gonna find him on the scoreboards. There he is. Belgian driver for Team Elementary. Actually closing into the last section of the track. You can see his time in the bottom, 6:50. So not too far away from the finish. By the way, Spam, thank you for the resub with Twitch Prime. So yeah, a lot of pipe action going on. Even in the last sector of the track, we are going through a pipe system. And let's see what Skandir's first time is going to be. He's coming closer now. The last bounce onto the island. We have Ariana G who is in front. So Ariana G will have a faster time in his first try. And it might be quite a good one as well. Let's see what he's going to clock in. So the players are jumping onto a lonely island. And Ariana G actually improving his best time already. He's clocking in a 7:36.8. So that's a very, very good time to begin with. And Ariana G can basically just cut it off already. He doesn't have to improve. Because with that time, he's already guaranteed to be qualified. Skandir also finishing with a 7:42.5. Nano with a 7:50. And Marius89 with a 7:57. Also Demos with a 7:57. With a close time to Marius89. So 6 people already finishing. Brandon also finishing right here. So first drivers now clocking in their times. Hazard also with an 8:08. And Socrato with an 8:15. So it will be very hard to actually see what times will be required to qualify. I'm assuming that if you're in the low 8-minute or very high 7:50 range, I think you will be very safe. You will be very safe. So let's see. Following Lars right here. He's also coming closer to the last sector. So Lars also someone that can for sure perform well on tracks like this. He's not the most experienced stadium driver as we see. But he comes from Trial. He has his origins from Canyon Trial. So he knows how to approach certain parts. Let's see what his first time is going to be. the map is known, to answer the question from the chat. The maps are known, so all of the players had a lot of time to prepare themselves, more than 1 week to learn this track. So that should be plenty of time to get used to this banger of an RPG track. Inside the Vivid Plateau by M-Guy. If you also want to give it a try, the track is on Mania Exchange. So everyone that wants to give it a try should definitely do so. So hello there, everyone that joined. We're currently in the time attack phase, in the time attack qualification of this competition. Lars now coming closer to the jump. Outside of this whole structure onto the lonely island with the finish block on. Lars already crossing the 8-minute mark, so he's not going to have the greatest of times. And he might have to go for an improvement. But you saw he did plenty of mistakes, so he can definitely improve his time. Last straight coming up here. And he goes in with a 8:34. And right now he is on 13th place. We have Nikus with a 9:23, Gendry with a 9:36, M-Guy with a 9:45. He's in spec, so he's maybe taking a little break. We also have new finishers. We have Skyzen and Super Noob that have finished a run here as well. 8:19 and 8:29 respectively for the two drivers. We also see Matt participating. I'm not sure how well prepared Matt is, but Matt is arguably one of the best RPG and trial drivers around. So he can definitely make something happen, but it will depend on how well prepared he is. Spamming the horn. So judging by his time, he's right there with an 11:30, so I don't think he knows the map. But maybe Matt can shine through with a little bit of his experience and learn the track on the go. 33 minutes left, so Matt can definitely still make something happen. Arthanier also clocked in the time, 11:29 for the N-Shore driver from Belgium. So he's now going through his second attempt. Let's follow some of the others. We have Theman from Austria. Also an active member of the RPG community. Who also hosts his own server in RPG. Where everyone is welcome to join if you want to play some RPG. In the RPG title pack. As we go through this face. Not sure if you saw that, but the exit of that hole resembled a face. So Theman right now just going backwards. I'm not sure what he was exactly trying to do there. That section was actually a freewheel. So he has to restart the section. Alright, so now he's coming in closer to the finish as well. We have Masabi just in front of him. Tomek as well, and someone I'm not sure, Xild, also about to finish a time. So let's focus Theman here. Almost flying off, manages to stabilize. And he's coming closer to the finish. Masabi clocks in an 8:02, which is a good time. Theman also getting a time through with a 12:45. Tomek with a 12:24. So more and more players are clocking in sometimes. Also Lenny, 11:55, disconnected from the server. I'm not sure if he's going to come back or not. But he clocked in a time as well. So as I said, the 50%, the top 50%, the fastest 50% of the time attack will move on to the knockout phase. But yeah, nothing's lost yet for any of the drivers at this point. Mitriani struggling a little bit, but gets the checkpoint. He's also a very active RPG driver. But I'm just assuming that he's not really well prepared. Doesn't really know the track too well. As you can see, he's not quite sure where to go. So he is on the discovery. So maybe we can have a look at someone else. For example, Dodeka. He's actually in a very similar spot. But also he is taking a little break. Scratching the balls. Cyramix for Team Fox. Also participating. So we can follow him for a little bit here. Going up the waterfall, of course it is magnetic. As I said before, there's a lot of magnets going on, a lot of magnetic shenanigans here on this map. So whenever you see something like this, you should know it's magnetic. They're not hacking, or they're not doing anything else, it is magnetic. I mean, magnetic waterfalls. So realistic, right? It's like the Niagara Falls, they're magnetic as well. Not sure if you knew, but now you do. So, crossing the 420 mark, we have Cyramix now winding himself through the pipe maze. Couple of respawn checkpoints, of course, as well. As per usual on RPG maps. And we see Demos with a good time here. He has a 7:43.054, so Demos up to 3rd place on the scoreboard. With that time, I think anything under 7:50 or even under 8 minutes, I think, judging by the times that have been clocked in so far, I think anything under 8 minutes should be safe-ish for now. So Demos definitely looking good. Ariana still having that 7:36. Skandir with the 7:39, so both still having their first try. Also Ben Sword, he's even in spec. So Ben Sword knows that with that 7:49, he should be safe to qualify for the knockout phase. So he just decides to take a break, which might be a good idea because it will be a long-lasting evening today with multiple KO rounds coming up. So Ben Sword deciding to take a break. Maybe he will come back later again to warm up again. But yeah, each player of course has their own kind of ritual. Some players decide to take a break, some others decide to just keep going, keep the rhythm up. Everyone kinda does whatever he prefers in situations like this. Maxi with a 3-month resub, thank you very much, dankeschön, very kind of you, and welcome to the RPG NightCup number 19. I'm not sure how long this cup will take. Probably around 2 to 3 hours, including the knockouts. So the players will be up for a treat. A long endurance test for those that survive until the very end today. So, Sirami doing a good job here. He's right now on 16th place. Didn't really make too many big mistakes. So maybe he will be able to qualify as well. Let's follow someone else here. For example, Hazard, who is standing at the start. Good job, Hazard. Very well done. Alexor also stuck in the fence. But he decides to continue. Probably someone that has not seen the map either. So maybe we can have a look at someone else. For example, Tourist, who has the 2nd fastest time right now. So Tourist, definitely someone that will be fighting for the top positions. But then, of course, he needs to finish a run first. He needs to clock in a time. Right now, as you can see, he has no time finished. But with 26 minutes left on the clock, that should not be a problem. So let's follow Tourist here through the garden maze. I have not tried the map myself, but I have watched players drive it, and I have watched the World Record replay to make myself familiar with the map. I haven't driven it myself, though. But I do know about the key parts, and I do know where to go. kinda. Not necessarily in the maze, but I am, let's say, mildly familiar with the track. And while we're following tourists, you can also make yourself familiar with the track. He's gonna give us pretty good insight into how to drive this track. As you can see, 7:33.3 is his fastest time. So maybe he's gonna be up for a good one. Or maybe even improve his time, you never know. You never know. So let's just follow him for a little bit. He's of course a very experienced RPG driver as well. He's in Team Milky Way, which is an RPG team. So he knows his business very well, I would say. Also holding up the flag for elementaries for the TMM TC19 tech competition that is going on right now. It will be the top 50% of people that actually finished. So not the top 50% of players that are on the server, but the top 50% of players that have actually clocked in a time. So right now with 32 finished players, it would be the top 16 moving on. So tourists now entering the pipe section, which is magnetic as well. As you can see, we are driving on the ceiling. So don't get yourself dizzy. Don't puke, please. But he's right now on a very, very good pace. As you can see, he is first at the checkpoint. He is in front of Ariana and in front of Skandir as well. So Tourist might be on to a very good time. Let's see if he's gonna continue that good pace. As you can see, he is very well prepared. He's really going for those optimal lines through the pipe section. And he maintains the lead that he got over Ariana. 0.58 of a second right now. And he continues to do really well. So maybe we're gonna see a time very close to the world records. Or even a world record time. You never know. Skandir is actually just behind him, so thank you very much for the heads up in the chat. Skandir actually just behind Tourist. So we see two good drivers right behind each other. Checkpoint 20. Skandir is on second right now. Let's have a look at where is he? At Tourist space. Okay. Very similar. They have a very similar gap to Ariana. Both around a second behind. So we have a little race already in the time attack phase. Jumping onto the next magnet part. Oh, Skandir gets it really well. Wow! What a part by Skandir, ladies and gentlemen. He keeps so much speed. Keeps the momentum up high. And that was a very, very well executed part by Skandir. He's gonna gain a lot of time with that. Really, really well done. However, he still remains roughly 1.8 seconds behind Ariana. So Ariana got that really well too, apparently. But yeah, that was absolutely spectacular. Gonna give you a good idea of what to expect later on in the rounds. Of course, a very risky section to get through. Skandir now with a big time loss. Now even behind his PB. But maybe he's gonna go for some risky lines. Gonna try to push it. And improve his PB. Nano in the meantime. 743.9. And that will right now grant him position 4 on the scoreboard. Where did Tourist go? He lost a lot of time right here, but he continues for the sake of actually finishing a run. Which is of course very clever. Makes sense. Don't want to waste your time like that by just retiring mid-race. That's something you can maybe do in the first minute or first 2 minutes, but not 6 minutes into the track. So Tourist about to finish a time. Not going to be the greatest one, but for sure will be enough to qualify for the knockout phase. Let's go back to Skandir. Did he make up any time? Let's have a look at the next checkpoint. Right here. He's 1.5 seconds behind his PB and 4.2 behind Ariana. So he needs to make something happen now in the last portion of the track. But yeah, he's risking it. He's risking it, and he caught up a little bit. But gaining 1 second starting from this point is going to be almost impossible, because this section is very simple. So unless Skandir made a mistake here somewhere in his PB, which is unlikely, then it will not be a new PB for him. 8800s. He's going to go for it now. But I do not think it's going to be enough. Bumps a bit too much here. Don't think that's going to be a PB for him. But another good run. 7:41 for Skandir again. And Tourist, what time will he get? 7:49.9. 6th place for Tourist. You should be very well in as well. Marius 89 right now on 9th place, 7:57. He has the slowest 7-minute time out of the 9 players that have gotten a time under 8 minutes. So maybe Marius is going to go for an improvement. Oh, but he makes a mistake and he's not able to recover from this. Not sure what his plan is, but I think he's going to go for a restart. Marius will start all over again. Ariana has went to spec mode, Demos has went to spec mode, Nano has went to spec mode, Bensword has went to spec mode, Chaos had went to spec mode, so a lot of people that just don't drive anymore, which is of course very, very understandable. We have 36 registered times, meaning that the top 18 will move on, and the 18th player right now is Lars. He has an 8:17, and the next one on the hot seat would be Summers for Team Elementaries, who is right now 10 seconds behind Lars. So let's follow him. Summers, a player that I haven't really seen around so far. So he's kind of a new face to me. So show me what you got, Summers. Also, M-Guy, delete that joke. Right now. Or I call the cops. Who else did we not spectate? We have not spectate Thugs or Seiko. I don't know how he wants to be called. Let's just go for Thugs. So right now, Mr. Thugs is going through the pipe section. And he is 9.1 seconds ahead of his PB, which is very nice. So maybe Thugs is going to be able to improve. Right now the pace would not be sufficient to qualify. But then again, it's always nice that players who are maybe not that competitive are still going to give it a chance. And compete against these really good drivers. Because this is of course a good way to improve yourself as well. If you just tackle the big boys and don't really give a damn about losing, because you can't always win, especially when you're starting off. So Thugs right now doing a very good job. He is approaching the respawn, and we see a little bit of server lag actually. There is quite a massive delay with the respawns, and you know, when the distance, the time is being displayed on the screen. So server having a little bit of a hiccup. But he's still well ahead of his PB. Let's just keep following here. And see how he manages to approach the next couple of sectors. But his run doesn't look all too bad. He's taking it very easy, very slow, of course. But he's not making any sort of mistakes, really. So Thugs doing a very good job. I like that. Not sure who that horn has, by the way. But it is a disgusting one. Oh, on his roof he goes, trying to turtle into the CP, and he makes it! Thug life by Thugs. Well done. Now the jump onto the sideways magnetic pipe. Ah, I didn't make it. Will he make it this time? Yes, he makes it. Just barely. I'm not sure if that's gonna make him lose a lot of time towards his PB. Oh, he gets stuck with the back tires. Will he be able to recover? Yes, he will. And he continues his journey. Thugs. Oh, misses the hole. Was a bit too fast. But he drops into the CP and he still has a very comfortable lead of 16 seconds over his PB. So, he continues to improve, which is very good. Ouch. Little mistake. Not too much of a biggie. And the top 19, as you can see in the chat, we have the statement from Choco, who is one of the admins of this competition. So the top 19 will be in, which means that Lars is still on the hot seat. Will someone dethrone Lars from that 19th place? We will find out in the next 13 minutes of the time attack qualification. After that, we will be going into the knockout phase, where the slowest drivers will be eliminated. Oh, Thugs landing on his roof. Will he recover again? No, he doesn't this time. And he even goes for a complete respawn. I'm not sure if that was actually intended, but Thugs decides to start all over again. That was questionable. But, yeah, he still has time. He still has time. So, let's follow someone else. Let's have a look at Lars. Will he be able to improve? Right now, he is behind his PB. But only 9.4 behind the leader. Alright, looking good for Lars. Let's check back later. Do we have someone else? Matt. How's Matt doing? I don't think Matt is gonna qualify, to be quite fair with you, because he just doesn't know the map. And going into this competition without knowing the map, that is not working out. That is most likely not going to work out, especially when you have a map like this, which is just so hard to find your way through. So yeah, Matt, most likely not going to make it through, but he still decides to play, which is nice. Who else did we not spectate? Sparito for Team Unity, also someone that I haven't seen so far. Pretty mint car skin, if you ask me. And he is right now 17.3 seconds out of his PB. So Mr. Sparito right now on a massive improvement. Let's follow him for a little bit. Looks pretty good. Checkpoint 20. Taking it very easy on the pipe here. Don't want to carry too much speed through this. Don't want to do it like Skandir or Ariana, who just drag boost themselves through this entire pipe section. Sparito having to do a little bit of a parking maneuver here, but he remains on the track. Lost a little bit of time. He's now only 14.3 seconds ahead. But, yeah, still very, very good stuff by Sparito, who is from France. Oh! There you go, Sparito Bobito with the turtlito into the checkpointito. Very, very good stuff. Recovers as well. Just like Thugs. It was the same thing. And look at that, he has a 43-second lead over his PB, and as I say that, he died. And will lose a couple of seconds again. But he can afford that. Oh, misses the entry. Passes the hole, but he found it. And continues his journey. So, let's check back with Lars. He should be closer to the finish. He's now almost at 7 minutes. And he might improve his time. He is 9 seconds ahead of his PB and would be 17th. Judging by his current pace. So maybe that would give him a little more comfort. Right now he's still on 19th. He's still on that hot seat. But of course, it would be nice to improve and make sure that he makes it through to the knockout phase. And he continues to keep up the minus. Gets a bit stuck there. Little time loss. Freewheel. Want to make sure not to hit anything here. Engine will be turned on again. He remains on 19th now, so he lost a few positions in that sector. But maybe with a good end, he might catch up a little bit again. Let's have a look. Bumping onto the island. 18th place for him. 7.8 seconds out of the PB. Will he get a good end? Has to oversteer quite a little bit. Won't have the greatest speed over this last stretch. Let's see what time it's going to be for Lars. And he will get 18th. 8 minute 10. 6.99 seconds faster than his old time. So Lars gets away from the hot seat. And now it will be Skyzen that is on that wonky position. With 7.5 minutes left on the clock. How's our boy Sparito doing? Sparito going through the freewheel. He makes it, respawns, and he still has 40.8 seconds of a lead. So that's going to be a definite PB for the French player. Marius89 with a small improvement, 1.4 seconds faster than his old time. And he will move on to 9th place. So Marius also well in. And there you go. Sparito doesn't get the sub 9 minutes, but 9:01. That is a good time for him. It will not be enough to qualify. So Sparito won't have another chance at qualifying. Sparito is out. But a 23rd place for him should be pretty good. Cyramix on his last try, and right now he also wouldn't make it through. So you might question whether he knows the map or not. But right now he's only on 22nd and he needs to improve. Testify. Already left the server, will not make it. Summers is on a run, so that's good. Nikas also on a run. Gendary is in spec, won't be able to qualify. Thugs is on a run. What position is he at right now? 26th. Right now would not be enough. But maybe he's gonna go for the improvement that he wished for. Oh, he makes the same mistake again. Goes too fast over the hole, but this time he didn't have to back off that much. So Thugs will be on a PB again. struggles! And also Masabi, who was right in front of him, had to respawn at that jump. This one might look a bit easier than it actually is, but you need to accumulate a lot of speed and you need to get a good pipe turn before that in order to actually have enough speed to pass the jump. So we might see the one or other mistake in the rounds at that part. Alright, I don't think any of these players are gonna make it. So I think most of the positions should be set in stone. So Ariana still with the fastest time, Skandir on second, Demos on third, Nano on fourth, Bensword on fifth, Tourist on sixth. Then we have Puke or Yuke on seventh, Chaos on eighth, Marius on ninth, Socrato on 10th, Super Noob on 11th, Masabi on 12th, Brandom on 13th, Dodeka has made it through on 14th, Xild on 15th, that's an awkward name to pronounce, not gonna lie. Favo on 16th, Hazard on 17th, Lars on 18th, and Skyzen on 19th. And those are, I think, all of the players that will make it through as of now. Matt on the run, question mark? What is the next checkpoint gonna tell us? Let's have a look. Checkpoint 20. He is on a run. He is 1 minute ahead of his PB, but it would not be enough to qualify. Struggles a little bit with the pipe entry. Summers left the server. He was 1 spot away from qualifying. That is going to be quite a hard pill to swallow. But yeah, unlucky for Summers. It wasn't enough, but good effort nonetheless. Ooh, Matt struggles with this part. We have seen plenty of drivers that had a turtling action right here. But Matt recovers pretty well. Oh, doesn't grab the magnet though. That looked awkward. That looked awkward. Matt has to back off. Gets a good drag though. So maintains a lot of his momentum. Remains on 25th place though. So, welcome everyone that joined in. We have 3 minutes left on the clock for the time attack qualification, and then we will go into rounds with knockouts. So, let's maybe have a look with the free cam. Who else is still on a run? Skandia right now is, no, he's not driving. He's in the water taking a little bath, refreshing himself for the knockout phase. Here we have Thugs, who, wait, hit the wall and had to retire. Okay, he's gone. Super Noob and Yuke are chilling. What a beautiful duo this is. Wow, romantic, if I may say so myself. Oh, Matt with a full stop, ladies and gentlemen. And does not make the jump. Anyone else still driving? I saw Lars was still on the run. And he will be able to finish. However, he's only a second ahead. This is going to be tight for Lars. Will he go for another PB? Oh, small mistake right here. Small full stop. Lost some time towards his PB. Oh, still keeps up the pace. Still 0.3 ahead. But this is a very, very dangerous situation for Lars. CP30. The gap is shrinking. next checkpoint. He gained a second now. Lars has gained a second. And this might actually even yield him a position on the scoreboard. Let's have a look. We're coming closer to the end. Freewheel sector gonna be important here. No mistakes allowed. Oversteer by Lars. But he even gains even more. 2.1 seconds now. And it might be a PB just before the timer runs out. 15 seconds left. Will he actually make it? That is the question of life right here. Is Lars even going to be able to finish? We have 10 seconds left on the clock. Will Lars be able to make it? I don't think he will. He is on PB and will not be able to finish his run. He is still qualified. But that is unlucky and a half right here for Lars. Too bad, but he remains in this competition. That is going to conclude the time attack qualification. 45 minutes have passed. And we have the following drivers that have qualified. Ah, the scoreboard now got mixed up. Great. Thanks, Nadeo. Not sure if I can see the standings somewhere right now. Probably not. But, yeah. We will have the rounds knockout phase starting in a few minutes after a little break. Alright, and we're back for the knockout phase of the RPG NightCup number 19. We will be starting to filter out the players, to filter out the slow drivers, and to find out who is the RPG NightCup master of tonight. We are still on the same track. We are still on RPG inside the Vivid Plateau by M-Guy. And we will be starting off with the first round. All of the drivers will be starting at the same time. And the last driver who crosses the finish line will be out of this competition. Normally it is 3 knockouts, but since 2 drivers decided to not attend, it will be only 1 KO. So, only 1 driver that is biting the dust today. Let's follow Dodeka here for a little bit through the first couple of turns. This is going to be very, very exciting. Going to see a lot of tiny mistakes, couple of different lines here and there. So, very exciting to see some proper RPG racing right here. And right now, all the way in the back, looks like it is Yuke who got the weakest start from them all. Unless we maybe have someone else who is even further back. I'm not sure. And we indeed have 3 more drivers behind. We have Masabi, Hazard, and Xild, who are even further behind. So let's have a look at them. Going through the first section of the track, which is very easy. Not really a lot to take care about. Just want to make sure that they don't make a lot of mistakes. And then we go through the first kind of hedge maze right here. A lot of U-turns, tight corners. Want to make sure to maintain as much speed as possible without hitting the walls. So, kind of technical and a very, very close battle right here for those last few positions. So as I said, only the last driver will get knocked out. So these are the positions we have to look out for. In the lead right now, it is Ariana G, followed by Skandir and Demos. Oh, Skyzen now falling back by quite a little bit there. And he's now on last place. By the looks of it, he's on 16th. And he's going to drop down. But his opponents are still within reach as we go through checkpoint 10. Many, many opponents within reach. They are right in front of him. Skyzen with a good slide onto the grass section. And there's one guy that is even further behind. As I just saw, it is Xild with a very nice car skin here as well. Right now, he is the last position driver. Also, Lelo TV, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. That's very kind of you. Welcome back. But yeah, right now, Xild facing elimination in the first round. He continues to lose even more time. You can see all of the other drivers We're now slowly but surely entering the pipe maze. While Xild isn't really able to capitalize on any sort of mistake so far. So all of the other drivers are on a considerably good pace. Xild already 20 seconds behind in the first 3 minutes of the track. So now we're going down the well. Want to respawn here, and then it is time to go through the maze. But yeah, maybe here he will be able to take advantage from eventual or potential mistakes. He remains on 17th place though. So here you want to turn around after this checkpoint and gather the speed for this jump to jump into the next tube. Of course, something that you will never figure out on your own when you play the map for the first time. That is something that you just need to pick up. Oh, bad mistake by Xild. He was actually creeping in closer to Brandon, who made a mistake. You saw him pop up there in the front, but Xild jumping too far left and hit the obstacle, so he has to respawn and will lose additional time. So it doesn't look good for him right now. Only one knockout, and he is seemingly the one that is going to face elimination so far. Also a little bit of a wonky part right here. These pipes are actually magnetic, so they allow you to drive at any side. You can drive on the left, on the right, you can drive on the ceiling without really risking of falling out. So these pipes are magnetic. As you can see, also this part is magnetic. But yeah, right now it is not looking good. However, Brandon is not too far away. Brandon apparently made a little mistake, so it might be spicy between those two. There goes the respawn. In the meantime, you can maybe have a look at some of the other drivers. Let's follow Lars, who is right now on position number 14, right behind Socrato. So we can just move up the field here a little bit. Give some screen time to everyone. Lars, 20 seconds behind the leader, who is Skandir. So Skandir right now in the lead. He has the world record on this track with a 7:32.80. So Skandir knows how to be fast. He's very consistent, very experienced. So Skandir, one of the contenders for the victory right here. Skandir has gotten 5th place in the previous RPG NightCup. RPG NightCup number 18. Skandir only, if I may say so, only with a 5th place. So maybe today is going to be his day. Skandir going for the left route. At that point, you maybe saw the arrows. You saw the junction. You can go for the left or for the right path. Skandir goes for the left. I know, for example, Marius and Lars go for the right path. Both are working. However, I'm not sure which one is really faster. I assume both are kind of the same. Ariana G, 1.3 seconds behind Skandir, but he's closing in very well right here, coming in a little bit closer to that lead. So Ariana G, also someone that could take away Skandir the victory in this RPG NightCup. Bensword on 3rd, 3.5 seconds behind. We have Chaos and Hazard in a fight right here, but Chaos getting stuck in the mesh. And Hazard will take advantage from that, goes up to 4th place. Yuke, another German driver right here. He's now on 5th place and comes in closer to Danish driver Hazard. Then we have Demos, who is in a fight with Super Noob, taking the jump. However, Super Noob, with a little bit more speed, Demos hitting the wall on the inside, will lose a little bit of time right here, but still neck and neck right here. Chaos has lost plenty of positions with that mistake. As I said, he completely full-stopped into the mesh right there. And as you can see, it is very, very close between these drivers. A very close pack between 4th to like 9th-ish place. So very, very exciting. Then we have Dodeka, who is, I think, the only non-European driver in this entire field right now. So Dodeka from Canada makes a little mistake, but he is very well in. Then we have Masabi, the Finnish driver, also in. Brandon, Socrato, and Marius. So Marius with a pretty big mistake, 38 seconds behind. And let's take a look. Who is the last driver right now? Brandon might be the last driver. Where did... wait. Xild rage quit. Xild left Okay. Then we got our knocked out driver already. Yep. Xild left. And Ariana G wins over Bensword and Skandir. The top 3 right here. Let's have the T-Tours camera here at the end. To see all of the drivers finishing. So, Demos will go on 4th, Hazard on 5th, Super Noob on 6th, Chaos on 7th, Skyzen on 8th. And then we have the other drivers creeping in towards the finish line. Masabi finishing here. That is position number 12. Brandon, Marius, Socrato. Nano, who got a pretty good time in the time attack. The first round right here didn't really go all too well. And then we have Lars, who takes last, but he will not get KO'd because we have the rage quit from Xild. Or Kassild, I don't know. But he's out. And that is going to conclude round 1. Next round will be coming up, and we have 3 knockouts again. So as I said, the previous knockouts have all come from rage quits or, you know, people leaving. So this round we will have 3 knockouts, and we will immediately start without a break. Here we go into the next round. We have Brandon with an early mistake, already dropping down to last place. Not really feeling it too well. So big stop pick from Brandon, and he's down to last place already. Not the greatest start for him. Can't click on anyone. Oh, now I can. Oh, quite a big lag right here. Let's follow Lars. Maybe he's gonna be able to kind of improve his previous round. Find himself back into the flow. Let's take a look here. Of course, easy start. Nothing that can really go wrong except for hitting the fences. Ooh, not the greatest grass entry for Lars. Hits the inside and will get passed by Hazard. Oh, I see Dodeka right there who got stuck a little bit. Dodeka losing a little bit of time. And Hazard now with a full stop here. You saw him right there, and now he's gonna drop down all the way back. Hazard right now facing elimination. Together with Lars and... who is it? Nano? No. Now the scoreboard isn't really accurate. The scoreboard shows the points and not the positions in the previous... in the current round. But speaking about the current round, it is Ariana G right now on first place. He is continuing to dominate this competition. Skandir in second place and Nano on third. So Nano, as I said, the guy that got a pretty good time attack result, didn't really get the greatest first rounds. Now, however, stabilizes and does pretty well in this round. Let's switch a little bit through the drivers. Bensword on 4th. Yuke on 5th. Then we have Demos on 6th. Now entering the crucial sections of the track. Skyzen right behind. Socrato also right behind, very close. Marius 89 right there on position number 9. Chaos has dropped down a few positions, but yeah, this is very close. In the last few positions, we have Masabi, Brandon, and Lars. But also Hazard right now is missing. I'm not sure where Hazard went. Hazard seems to be even further behind. Hazard is on 15. But very close, as you can see. Too early to call anything. Oh, saw a respawn there. I didn't catch who that was. Might have been Brandon. Maybe. Yep. Brandon. Also Skyzen. Pretty far behind. Or is he actually behind? Behind-ish. Going up the backwards. And the respawn. So Brandon right now, not on the greatest position. Also Chaos not doing very well. Oh, was that Super Noob being really far behind? I feel like the current CP is very wrong. But I see a Super Noob who I think is even further behind. He is dead last. 25.6 seconds behind, so Super Noob definitely facing elimination. But there was some... Was there someone right behind him? Not sure who that was. It's really hard to keep track of this, unfortunately. Because the current CPs are completely broken. Oh, Chaos. Gets stuck there a little bit on the entry. 14th place for him. But yeah, Super Noob. Oh, Hazard also with a respawn. Hello there. Hazard now also dropping down quite a little bit in the scoreboard. And he's in a fight with Super Noob now. Oh, it's top 14. Wait, is that really just top 14? Alright, that explains it. Hazard again with a respawn. Look at that. It was like his third respawn, I believe. The third respawn that he got today in this round. He's in front of Mario, so Mario's struggling a little bit right here. And right now he would be facing elimination. He goes to the right. And we are 6 minutes into the track, so slowly but surely, people need to make something happen to secure their positions. Otherwise, it will be starting to look grim, also for a driver like Marius, who is right now on 14th place and would be facing elimination. 13th place for him. He moved up one position. So now it is Hazard on the hot seat. Marius with a terrible landing. And it is neck and neck between Marius and Hazard right now. Hazard going for a loop-de-loop. I don't know why he did that, but it looked fancy at least. Only lost a fraction of time. So this is a fight we have to look out for. Marius almost flipping his car, but remains in front of Hazard. This is going to be interesting to watch. Hazard with a little bit more speed over the balancing, dropping down into the checkpoint. Quick respawn, and Hazard moves up. Socrato has lost the position. Not sure who's even further behind. Is it maybe... Where's Lars? Yeah, Lars seems to be very, very far behind, actually. Yep, Lars is last, Chaos Hand on 15th, and Socrato on 14th. So these are the three drivers that would face elimination in this round. Yuke has taken over the lead and he wins the round over Skandir. Demos on 3rd, Ariana G also very close, Ben Stord on 5th. Masabi will be taking 6th right here. There he goes, good position for Masabi. Brandon, after a rather wonky start, still manages to get 7th. Nano on 8th, then we have Skyzen on 9th, Dodeka on 10th. And we see the three last name tags right there. We see Lars, Chaos Hand, and Socrato. 2 Germans and 1 French guy looking to be knocked out in the round number 2. Here we have Super Noob, Hazard, and Marius. Those are going to be the people that will still remain in the competition. Socrato out. Chaos in the last turn. He will be facing elimination here. Chaos Hand out, and Lars out as well. There he goes on the last straight, and that's it for Lars. GG, 3 players will get eliminated, and we will now proceed with 2 knockouts per round. Here we go. Following Masabi through the first couple of corners. Brandon again touching the wall on the left. He did that in the previous rounds. It looks like he really likes that one. So small mistake for Brandon. But not too much of a biggie. Masabi struggling with the entry into this. You saw him hugging the wall on the right. But yeah, very early on here. A little bit of lag. Always nice. Random with a few Neo slides, passing Marius and another player in one turn, and Brandon will move up to 9th place again, 1.6 seconds behind the leader. We haven't really had a look at the leaders, even though we can of course assume that drivers like Ariana, Bensort, Skandir, Ayuk, they will all survive up until the very end, meaning that I will spectate them anyway. Right now it is more about seeing who will occupy the last couple of positions. But Ariana still with a tremendous performance right now. He is on 1st place, and that is really, really solid. Skandir moving up to 2nd, has passed Bensort. I think Bensort is the one with this really annoying horn, which should be banned. Luke, why do I say Luke? It's obviously Puke. Or Uke, or I don't know, what else is still possible that ends on Ook? I don't know. He's on 4th, Random on 5th. Pretty good effort right there. Skyzen stumbling a little bit, gets passed by Marius and Hazard. Skyzen down to 9th. Demos. Here we see him. Oh, doesn't get the slide to the left. Has to recover, but does that really well. Goes up the staircase. Comes a little bit closer to Skyzen, but not enough to pass. Dodeka, Masabi, and Nano. Very, very close right here. Very nice fight. Right now, the last 2 positions would be Dodeka and Masabi, who would be facing elimination. Going down the tree into the well. And then you have the respawn, which introduces, or which basically throws you into this massive pipe section. Good respawns, everyone turning around. So Marius going for a little bit of an alternative line. Super Noob didn't make the jump, has to respawn. And also Uke has not made it. So these 2 drivers right now at the bottom. But however, even further behind we have Brandon, who has to completely redrive this entire section. Big time loss for Brandon, and he's 32 seconds behind the leader. This is pretty much not recoverable at this point already. Not the greatest start for Brandon. He's looking to get eliminated, and he kind of needs to hope for a miracle now. Even adds to back off again. Look at that. No speed for the uphill. Brandon continues to choke, and it's not looking good for him whatsoever. I clicked on Uke's YouTube link, Twitch link, whatever. The Twitch logo in his name actually redirects you to his Twitch. Can't believe it. And he's in a fight for that hot seat. Super Noob versus Pook, Uke, Fluke, Duke, Juke. There they go. Over the invisible. And through the hole. Oh, Super Noob gets a little stuck right there. Loses a tiny little bit of time. Dodeka, you see him up front, not too far away. So he's not too safe at this point. Oh, struggles a little bit with this. Super Noob will lose some extra time. Oh no, another mistake. Has to do it again. Super Noob will drop down to last place. Even Brandon will pass him. So Super Noob really struggling with the tube right here to maintain the speed and to not fly out of it. Good section by Brandon. Gets a really good drag to this part as well. Manages to continue his journey right here. He is 14 seconds behind Masabi. So Brandon's still not even close to qualifying. Let's have a look at Masabi. .44 seconds behind the leader, who is Ariana G. Once again, who would have thought? And he might be on a good time as well. Then we have Nano on second. Hazard has moved up to third, but he makes a mistake just as I spectate him. Gets stuck at that entry and will get passed by Demos and Bensword. And by Skandir as well, so Hazard down to 6th place. Marius89 on 7th. Skyzen on 8th. Pook, Luke, Juke on 9th. Dodeka on 10th. And Masabi on 11th. So nothing has changed at the bottom. Brandon and Super Noob still facing elimination. And I'm pretty safe to say that pretty much nothing will happen in that regard. Ariana on the finish straight, gonna be maybe a sub 740. There you go, 739.14. Great time by Ariana. Leaves everyone in his dust. Bensword being the player on second place. 12 seconds behind first place. So great dominance right there by Ariana G. Skandir has taken third. Demos on fourth. Hazard on fifth. Then we have Yuke. Dodeka coming in here on position number 9. Skyzen on 10th. Masabi on 11th. Super Noob and Brandon out. He's still trying to finish. Approaching the last sector now. Brandon decides to not continue. Brandon has given up. So Super Noob is the only player still left on the track. Bouncing onto the island. So he's gonna finish, but he will be out. There he goes, 12th place for Super Noob. GG. Next round, we will continue to throw out 2 drivers. So 2 knockouts again as we go through the next rounds. Not annoying at all, that horn. Oh, big mistake by Skyzen. Gets completely stuck right there at the entry of that section. So right now, he is on last. But he's gonna give us a good overview over what's happening right in front of him. Going for the flip, everyone going for a double flip. I've also seen a few players go for a single flip by doing some air control in the air, but I don't think it really matters. A double flip is intended and should be safe. So most of the drivers should be going for that. Nano, now the guy that struggles next. He's gonna drop down to last, gets passed by Skyzen. So another player that will struggle a little bit with the entry into the grass part. But yeah, right now, other than that, we have no other big mistakes being made. Marius89 on 8th. About to overtake Masabi. Maybe even Dodeka in the right-hander. Marius going for a lot of speed here, overtaking Demos as well. Marius jumping over the grass patch, which is very risky, and it did not pay off for the German driver. He will lose the positions that he has accumulated beforehand. And makes another mistake on top of that. And will get passed by everyone else. Marius down to 10th place. Nano also taking advantage from that. Marius right now on last place. Together with Nano. Those two will be facing elimination. As per usual, Skandir and Ariana leading the pack. They really seem to be very well prepared for this competition. So an early elimination of those two drivers would be quite an upset. But I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, still no big mistakes being made. By the way, on this grass you actually have full grip. It is not actual grass. It is a full grip tarmac surface which just looks like grass. And now we're dropping through these through this little LSD section. With Nano overtaking multiple positions. Bensword down to last. The guy with the mildly annoying horn right now facing elimination. Together with Marius89. But we have Dodeka and Masabi. Oh, Dodeka, did he even make it? No, Dodeka did not make it. And he has to do the same that Brandon did in the previous round. He needs to back off and get enough speed to pass the uphill. So Dodeka with a big time loss, 24.5 seconds behind the leader. That is not looking good considering the level of all of the other players. Dodeka now really far behind. And needs to push it very far now. Needs to avoid any sort of mistakes starting from now. Marius89 also facing elimination. But he has quite a lot of opponents right in front of him. So any tiny mistake by them, and Marius will be able to capitalize on that. So let's take a look. Respawn. Everyone makes it. Bensword right in front of the German driver. Going up the waterfall. Into the next pipe. Marius taking it easy here. Definitely a wise choice. He needs to get a good entry here now. We've seen a lot of players actually struggling with that entry because it is considerably easy to get stuck on those edges, and then you have to back off like 5 times to unstick yourself from that edge. But yeah, right now it starts to look grim for Marius. He's not really able to come any closer to his opponents. Oh, but wait. Masabi has made a mistake, and now he's even behind Dodeka. I have missed out on that mistake. So the 2 eliminations might be decided, question mark. Dodeka and Masabi, the Canadian and the Finnish player, looking to get eliminated in the RPG NightCup. Number 19, Dodeka, getting stuck a little bit. Has to let Masabi pass a tiny little bit. However, I think Masabi had to... No, never mind. Skyzen versus Marius, the fight for this position. As we go through this little mouth face sort of thingy. Everyone makes it. Oh, Skyzen losing control over his car, but recovers pretty well. Remains behind Marius. Then we have Hazard, who is actually in a battle with Demos and Nano. Hazard again going for this loop-de-loop. I think he's doing that to get some more speed, but as you can see, it doesn't really gain him anything. It doesn't really lose him anything either, and as I say that it is Nano that has to respawn, but I think he turtled right into a checkpoint. So, all good. Nano is still well in. Nano still looking good. Checkpoint 30, meaning that we are coming closer to the end. It is Ariana G in the lead, followed by Skandir with a 6.3 second gap. Look at that. Bensword on third, 10 seconds behind. So the gaps are really big on this map. We have seen very small gaps on various other RPG NightCup edition maps. But today the gaps are considerably big between all of the drivers. So, Ariana G about to finish, and it's gonna be another whopper of a time right here. Maybe another sub 740. Wow, 738.06. That is even faster than his previous time. That's really, really impressive. Skandir taking second with a 745. Bensword right there on third. Yuk, Demos, Hazards on 4th, 5th, and 6th. Nano on 7th. And here we have Marius89 and Skyzen that will remain in the competition. Masabi and Dodeka are out. Alright. We're moving on without Dodeka and without Masabi. RPG NightCup continues with the next knockout round, and it will be Ariana G, Skandir, Bensword, Demos, Yuk, Hazard, Nano, and Skyzen, and Marius. Yuk with a terrible start. And also Ariana G right now, finding himself in the second to last position. So 2 knockouts again, meaning that we would lose Ariana and Yuk. But we're not even a minute into the track. A lot can happen. So let's follow Ariana and see if he's going to be able to recover from the slight misery that he's in right now. He's looking very, very dominant tonight. So if he manages to actually get eliminated, it would be quite an upset. And it would be quite an unexpected result. But he has the pace. And he will inevitably be faster than most other drivers on the track. So I'm not really too worried about this for now. Bensword is in the lead, followed by Skandir and Demos. Ariana G now snacking Marius. The German passing the German. So Marius89 will now be facing elimination. He goes for the bump again. But as you can see, it's not really something that he can profit from. It's like the same, pretty much. Just another risky bounce, pretty much. Oh, Ariana G again, losing a little bit of time. Maybe he's pushing it a bit too hard. But nothing's lost yet. You can see all of the drivers are still in front of him. Hazard, Marius, Demo, Skyzen. Everyone's still in front of him, so anything can happen. Going over this little path, covered in grass. Ariana going for a tight drift, touches the wall on the right side on the exit. As we have a little bit of lag again. So Ariana clearly pushing it, and the push not being worth it as of now. A 4-man battle, 5-man battle with Ariana as well. 5-man battle. And we're dropping down. Marius was a bit slow with the respawn. But, by the looks of it, everyone made it. Up the hill we go. Skyzen. Oh, he was so slow. Skyzen, really, really low speed, but barely was able to climb the hill. So Skyzen is still in and doesn't have to do the recovery strat, which would lose him more than 10 seconds. However, struggles a little bit in the pipe. Skyzen now going up the waterfall. He finds himself right behind Yuke. So the two eliminations would be Yuke and Skyzen right now. There they go. But no big mistake being made so far. Last place is 10 seconds behind the leader. So the level, as you can see, is heating up. And everyone knows that a big mistake could very well mean the elimination out of this tournament at this point. Because now we only have the best drivers remaining. One mistake could be deadly. Especially if you're making a very unfortunate mistake that loses you a very big amount of time. For example, what Hazard did right there. Hazard? That looked awkward. And that is going to be a very big time loss. How much time did he lose?
How are you, my man?
Look at Hazard. He is now definitely dead last. 25 seconds behind Hazard. Most likely out. Skyzen and Yuke are now the ones that capitalize from that. Yuke remains in the race. Skyzen would be out, and he's on his roof! And what is he doing? He tried to turtle, but he was so slow with the respawn. I think he was kind of hoping that he's gonna grip with his wheels, but it just didn't happen. So Skyzen, the next one to make a big mistake. I'm not sure if Hazard... Yeah, Hazard I think even overtook Skyzen. Oh, Skyzen again! Ah, he makes it though. This time he makes it. He turtles into the checkpoint, but 35.555 seconds behind the leader. Skyzen definitely out at this point. Also, Best P with the resub. Thank you very much. And it is Hazard that has to respawn. And now the two last drivers are neck and neck fighting it out for the last position. And he doesn't make it again. Hazard completely choking, completely on tilt right here. And that is definitely the GG at this point. So, I think we have our two eliminations already. Skyzen and Hazard most likely out of this tournament. Yuke is in after a wobbly start. Kept himself cool, didn't crumble under the pressure, and he is most likely gonna survive And hopefully we'll recover from this rather shaky round. Marius89 was on 6th place. Demos on 5th. Nano on 4th. Ariana on 3rd. No, Ariana actually on 2nd. And Skandir once again in the lead. Let's see what time Skandir's gonna clock in this time. Is it gonna be another improvement? He is now jumping out of this part. Will he get a time under 7:40? Let's take a look. So Skandir winning this round. 1 turn remaining. Around the trees we go. And that is definitely going to be under 7:40. Here we go. Skandir winning another round. Another very good looking round 7. 37.94. Only 5 seconds behind the world record. Very impressive. Ariana G on 2nd. Ben Sword on 3rd. Nano up next. Taking position number 4. Demos on 5th. The 2 N-Shore drivers remaining in this race. Yuke has overtaken Marius. But both German drivers will remain in the race. Skyzen and Hazard are out. Will he be able to finish though? Skyzen for sure. Hazard should be able to make it here as well. There he goes. Boop. And he will make it. Skyzen, however, out. And he falls into the water! Oh no! Skyzen taking a bath! And he will even get passed by Hazard, maybe. Neck and neck right here. The fight for last place. Who's gonna take it? Hazard now touching the wall or the tree on the outside. And it's Skyzen that takes second to last place. What an intense battle for the positions that don't even matter anymore. Hazard and Skyzen out. Alright, we're gonna move on with the top 7. So once again we have 2 knockouts. After this it will be 1 KO per round. Let's go into the next one. Oh, Ariana G with a little stop, with a little touch at that gate. Not easy to get through there with a lot of speed, but he makes it. Ben Sword with a very good start already. Ariana G passing Nano. And Marius89 right now with the slowest start. Of course, the Safe Meister taking it easy. And we see the first mistake already, which was Nano. Had to respawn. Probably didn't get a good landing and had to retire to respawn. So Nano right now on last. With a 2.6 second disadvantage. Going through the hedge maze another time. Nano getting stuck a little bit. So he will lose some additional time. No one with a mistake. You can see everyone in a close pack up front. Marius right behind Demos. He has passed Yuke, so Yuke with a tiny mistake has to give up his position and drops down to the hot seat. Demos taking it very easy right there. Slowed down a lot to align properly for that jump. Very safe approach from Demos. And he will temporarily get punished for that. However, he's still within reach. The other drivers not very far away from him. So right now, the 2 N-Shore drivers would be out. Demos and Nano on the 2 bottom positions. Let's take a look at Uke. Doing pretty good here. He's behind Marius. Marius on 4th place, even... or despite him not having that much practice on the maps, Marius actually started to learn this map yesterday. He has spent quite some good effort into learning this map, but I think in comparison to Skandir, Bensword and Ariana, Marius is definitely in a disadvantage when it comes to practice time. So Marius89 doing really good right here considering the circumstances. Right now, he is on position number 5. Demos and Nano not too far behind. Demos actually coming in very close to Marius. Oh, Demos barely able to climb the hill. So Marius will get away from the French driver a little bit. Oh, Uke gets completely stuck in the mesh. And he will lose all of his positions. Uke down to last. Nano also overtaking him by just a tiny margin. So that was very unlucky. Uke getting completely stuck and had to reverse and realign himself to go through the mesh. So Demos right now still in a fight against Marius89. Oh, Bensword as well, struggling to go through the hole. And now it is a 3-man battle for position number 3, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be exciting. Respawn. Everyone gets it nicely. Bensword still on that 3rd place. Demos going up a bit higher. Marius going to the left of the next mesh. The other ones went to the right. Oh no, Marius getting stuck now, and he has to respawn, and that is not good, because the respawn route is quite long, has to redo this entire section. Marius got stuck, and that is gonna push himself all the way back to last place, I think. Marius dead last. Very, very unfortunate. 23.6 seconds behind, and 8 seconds behind Nano. So this is not completely decided, but that is a terrible, terrible situation. And Uke says GG. Uke says GG. He made a mistake as well, and it is the 2 Germans on last 2 positions. Team Ensure has moved up to 4th and 5th place respectively. Marius and Uke with massive mistakes in the mid part of the track. Oh no, not sure what happened to Uke, but that must have been a big, big mistake. 39 seconds behind. That is, yeah, that is the GG. I don't think anything can happen that would bring him back to the good positions. However, Marius versus Demos. This is not decided yet. Demos not too far ahead of Marius. And Marius, as you can see, he's pushing it to the limits now. Marius knows that he needs to make something happen. And he's doing it. Both Demos and Nano are not too far ahead of Marius. And there's still more than 1 minute left on the track as we see Demos, who full stopped into that part. And all of a sudden, it is back to business for Marius89. Demos with a terrible landing right there. Will have to let the German player pass. Marius up to 5th place. Very, very exciting. Demos must have made a couple of tiny mistakes that all added up. And Marius probably pushed it a little bit. So this is the fight that we have to look out for. Only one of those 2 drivers will be able to move on, unless someone else, of course, makes a mistake. But right now, this is the fight we have to look out for. Demos hits the checkpoint a bit earlier, and Marius drops down to the bad place again, to the bad position. Checkpoint 30, we're coming closer to the end of the track. And Demos with a full stop again! Demos struggling with the entry, and Marius will gain valuable time on the French driver. Marius up to 5th place again. Will Marius survive this one? Demos will push it once again. But pushing means risks, and risks mean mistakes. Coming closer to the end now, we have Ariana G with a world record! Ariana G with a 7:31.4, a new world record. But this is not what we have to look out for, because it is Demos that is still behind Marius89. And we're coming to the end of the track. Skandir taking second place in front of Bensword, and then it is Nano. However, Demos most likely not gonna pass Marius unless Marius makes a mistake, but that's not happening. Demos risking it for the biscuit right there. Almost fell off again, but Demos will be out and Marius survives another round. Yuke and Demos are out. Great round, but Ariana G with a new world record on this track, 7:31.422. Amazing stuff. Really, really impressive. Ariana asserting dominance as we're now going to the next round where we will only have one elimination. So from now on it will only be one driver that gets eliminated in each round. Ariana G, Skandir, Bensword, Nano and Marius89 in the top 5 of the RPG NightCup number 19. Here we see Yuke, who kind of gave up on life right there. I think he just decides to go backwards now. Over the ledge, up to the finish. He goes. He should be able to make it though. Oh. Ah! Look! Ay, 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 ay. Alright, and there he goes. Yuke finishes, and he's out, together with Demos. Top 5. So it will be a pretty difficult task for Nano and Marius, I would say, because they are significantly slower than Ariana G, Skandir and Bensword on this track. So they might be the players who need to hope for a little mistake to happen. But on a track like this, as you might have seen already, there is a lot that can go wrong. A lot of long sectors that can easily make you lose like 10 seconds plus with a mistake. So, this is gonna be exciting. Marius89 right now with the slowest start. Skandir is doing really well right here. He has already accumulated more than half a second of a lead towards Bensword, Ariana, Nano and Marius. Bensword now doesn't really get the best entry into this part, goes for another wallbang and drops down to last place. Yuke with the raid, thank you very much, and GG. Let's have a look. So some drivers opting for bug slides, others are just turning normally, and it is Nano that full stops into the hedge, and you will lose valuable time. It is the easy part of the track, so you don't want to lose the time here already. Nano 3.4 seconds behind the leader in the first 1.5 minutes of the track. So definitely not too great of a start for Ensure Nano from France. Marius89 on 4th, and then we have Bensword on 3rd. Ariana G and Skandir once again leading, and it is Bensword who landed on his side. Not sure what happened there, and he's just barely able to turtle into the next checkpoint. Checkpoint 10 right here, ladies and gentlemen, and it is Bensword with a massive time loss already, 8.2 seconds behind the leader. Is this the GG already? That is the question that arises at this point, but Bensword with a very, very bad landing right there. Landed on the side of his car and wasn't able to really stabilize. So he had to turtle. Lucky that he, of course, didn't have to respawn. But that is not that good for Fox Bensword, who is now 12 seconds behind the leader. Nano on 4th, right behind Marius89. Ariana G on 2nd, and Skandir leading the field. Both of them are on really good times once again. Nano really risking it down the tree. Passes Marius in the process. And we're now dropping down into the maze again. So Bensword really needs to push it now. He has the pace to make it happen, but one more mistake and it would be over and out for him, I would say. Going for the turnaround. Everyone does it nicely. And there we saw Bensword crossing the path. Marius gets that part a bit better. Nano has lost a lot of time here, actually. It was neck and neck between Marius and Nano, but Nano now losing 3 seconds to the German driver. So the top 3 right now set in stone with Skandir, Ariana and Marius. Let's take a look at Bensword. How is Bensword doing? Is he gonna make something happen? He really needs to push it now. He's 13 seconds behind the leader and roughly 3.5-ish seconds behind Nano. No mistakes can be afforded at this point for the French driver. Let's keep following him for a little bit. Wait, Bensword went wrong. Bensword with the brain fart, ladies and gentlemen. Bensword got lost and he will lose 2, 3, 4 seconds with that. Where did Marius go? Marius went missing. Marius maybe got lost as well. I don't know what happened there, but Marius dropped down to last place and he's 10 seconds behind Bensword. Marius 89 with a massive mistake right there. I really have no idea what happened to him. But Bensword will take advantage from that. He's gonna be like, bonjour, merci, thank you very much. I will take that opportunity. And that is a big time loss right there for Marius. Will he make something happen? He kinda needs a mistake now. From someone else, of course. Not from himself, but from someone else. Otherwise, it will be looking grim for the unfailing player from Germany. He doesn't even make this, and this is over and out for Germany. Over and out for Marius. He is most likely out. He did not make that upwards pipe turn. And this respawn is really long. So Marius very likely to be out. He makes it now, but he's half a minute behind. Doesn't grip to the magnet either. Marius completely lost his marbles right here. So it is Bensword that saves himself from misery. After the wonky start, he is still in this competition. Ariana G on third. Not the greatest lap for him this time. Not going to be a time that he would normally clock in. Nano on second. And Skandir leading. He's on first. There he goes. Drops down really well to the checkpoint. Was a bit slow with the respawn, I think. And there he goes. Skandir doesn't miss the entry. Goes for it very nicely. And it might be a good time as well. The positions are pretty much set in stone. I don't think anything is going to happen here. Mario's still almost a minute behind, so I think this round is settled, ladies and gentlemen. Skandir on his way to maybe a good time. Exits this part at 7:21. Oh, that was close to the lamp. Skandir almost hitting the lamp on the left side midair. Might be just slightly over 740. There he goes. 740, 49 for Skandir. Another victory in his pocket. Nano doing really well here, actually. Surprisingly good lap. Takes 6 Stadiumania right in front of Ariana G. Only 3/10 of a second. That was actually really close. 3/10 of a second on the track like this, of this length. That is nothing. So Nano on second, Ariana on third, Ben Sword on fourth, and Marius is out. 5th place for him. Goes for the horn. Boop. Water bounce. But he will, of course, finish. Ay, 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 ay. 1 minute behind the leader. Marius out. And the top 4 will move on. Skandir, Nano, Ariana, and Ben Swords. Top 4 of the RPG NightCup number 19. Oh, that was a really close exit by Nano. That was a millimeter away from the wall at the exit. That was really close. Skandir with a little touch. Ben Sword will overtake. Skandir on last. Going down the stairs, really risky stuff. But everyone still on a good pace. Ariana on first, then we have Ben Sword and Nano following up. And here we go for the double flip. Skandir, pretty good. Gets the front wheel landing. Early grip, early acceleration, good speed. That's what you need. But right now he's not able to capitalize on other players' faults. Nano, a little bit of a wonky entrance right there. Goes for the wallbang. And Skandir up to third. Now about to snack Ben Sword with that inside line. Really well executed by Skandir there, actually. It is really hard to actually guess where the actual edges of the hedges are. It's hard to tell where the hitbox is. So Skandir with that risky turnaround around the 180 right drift. Boosts himself up to second place. Ariana still in the lead. Ben Sword on third. And Nano right now on last. Oh, Nano going for the Marius bounce over the grass. However, that did not gain him anything, really. Not the greatest part right there. Gonna lose some additional time. And the gap is already 5.5 seconds. 2 minutes into the track. So Nano needs to make something happen, slowly but surely. Because none of these drivers are gonna let that position slip through their hands, that is for sure. These drivers have fought for their positions. They have done a really good job at being consistent and fast on this track. None of these players have particularly had really, really bad rounds. So, yeah, will be hard. Nano continues to lose time. 6.4 seconds. The gap is getting bigger. It is extending. 7 seconds now. Ariana seems to be on another level. He's probably on a really, really sick run. What is he doing? Let's have a look. Skandir 1.7 behind. Ben Sword 3.6 behind. And then there's Nano, who continuously loses time. 7.5 seconds now for him. Ariana with really proper speed over the hill. That looks like a tremendously good lap so far for Ariana G. The guy that set a world record in this competition during an actual round. Will he maybe do it again? That would be absolutely bonkers. And look at those lines. He really knows how to push the car to its limits in those magnetic tubes. He really knows the line. Does it really, really well. and remains on first place with a comfortable 2.3 second lead over Skandir. Really impressive stuff so far. Going through the next couple of turns. Oh no! Ariana has to respawn, and that is a long sector to redrive for Ariana. So he's gonna drop down to last place. As we have some lag. Server-sided lag. Ariana 15.2 seconds behind. That mistake cost him 17 seconds. He was risking it for the biscuit. He knew he was on a good time and he was pushing it too hard. Ariana getting punished, and will he even get eliminated for that? Oh boy. The pressure has gotten him. This is a risk that he was apparently willing to take. And it did not pay off. But we see Nano right up front, who is struggling a little bit with the entrance into this part. But also Ariana with no momentum whatsoever. But all eyes on Ariana. Will we see a comeback? If someone can do it on this track, then it is Ariana. Next checkpoint, 13.7 seconds behind. 5 seconds down to Nano. Ariana grips the magnet, gets the drag. Really well done by Ariana G. The gaps remained about the same in this sector. Of course, Nano will be put under pressure because he knows that Ariana is right behind him, and he knows that Ariana is faster. And he also knows that Ariana is going to push it. So, we will see how Nano is going to handle this. Ariana is catching up. He gained 0.7 of a second in the previous sector. 15.2 seconds up to Bensword, who is leading this round in front of Skandir. Skandir 3.7 seconds behind. Ariana needs to make something happen. We have 1.5 minutes left of track. Oh boy, this is gonna be hella exciting. 14.9 for Ariana. He's gaining a little bit, but it's just not enough. It is not enough right now. 14.7, another 0.2 gain in the sector. Then again, these itsy bitsy incremental improvements are not gonna be enough. He needs big boy improvements, or he needs a mistake right now. 13.7. Creeping in closer. But the other drivers are really safing it. We see Nano right there. You saw his name tag. He got the respawn. Let's take a look at him. This is looking grim for Ariana. We're coming into this red lighted area. This means that we're coming closer to the end of the sector. And you saw, of course, the end. Not really a lot can happen at the end after the water bounce. So Ariana G actually looking to be knocked out right here. The favorite of this RPG NightCup after that big mistake may be looking to get knocked out. Nano still 3 seconds ahead. Ariana really pushing it right there. 3 seconds. Nano is right up front on the straight. But unless Nano now falls into the water and takes a bath, this is over and out. Nano is right there. Boop! Did the water bounce. Skandir and Bensword are going to finish it off on the first 2 positions. Nano about to knock out the favorite of this competition. Nano survives and Ariana is out. Unbelievable. GG. Bensword finishes with a 7:43. Then we have Skandir with a 7:44. Nano with a 7:52. And Ariana with a 7:56. All drivers under 8 minutes. Ariana out. And we're now fighting for some metal. We're fighting for the top 3 in this RPG NightCup. Nano versus Skandir versus Bensword. Here we go into the second to last round of this competition tonight. Oh, Nano gets stuck at that gate a little bit. But he's still well in. So Nano, I would say the outsider out of this lineup. Out of the top 3, Nano, I would say, is the one that I wouldn't have expected to be at this place. So that's already worth a GG for Nano. All of them landing the flip. And yeah, of course, Nano has to face these big names, as in Skandir and Bensword. And everyone survives this section as well. Very close battle as we go through the hedge part now. Oh, Nano gets stuck on the inside. And that is exactly what I meant about the hitbox being unclear of these hedges. You never really know where you have the hitbox. And Nano hit it. Time lost. 3.9 seconds behind. We see Bensword also up front, who lost a little bit of time. So this is definitely not decided yet, ladies and gentlemen. Bensword taking it easy in this entry. Nano with full speed almost through the section is now creeping in closer to Bensword. Skandir has already accumulated a 3.6 second lead in the first 2 minutes. Skandir definitely pushing it right there, while Bensword was taking it a little bit easy and Nano made that mistake. So the fight that we have to look out for is definitely right here on our VHS tapes. Skandir definitely in a good pace, I would say. That looks like a proper run to me. Bensword maintains his lead over Nano. As we're now going down the tree. This is not easy to navigate, but both of them make it really well at almost full speed. Bensword remains on second place, as we are now dropping down into the pipe. Nano still on third. All 3 make the jump. And all 3 will be able to continue their journey. Now the uphill will be decisive. Nano! No! Yes! He makes it! No! Yes! No! What is he at? Oh my god. Nano probably out with this already. What is he even doing? Nano is completely lost and I think he retired. Nano has retired and it's GG. Anticlimactic as hell. Nano has retired. And he will be eliminated. You saw that after the respawn he was lost. And he didn't know where to go. So very, very unfortunate. He was trying to save it on the uphill. And I think he would have made it if he was trying a bit harder. But yeah, that will make it a pretty uninteresting round to commentate and to watch. Skandir on first and Bensword 5 seconds behind. Let's take a look at Skandir. Will he win RPG NightCup number 19? He has what it takes, but he needs to take it home. And that's easier said than done on a track like this, which is so unforgiving. We have seen so many mistakes that cost so much time, and there's so many of these sectors on this track as well. So this track is a bitch, if I may say so myself. Skandir continues to extend his lead over Bensword, actually. Went from 4 to 6.8 seconds. So, they're racing properly. They're not like, yeah, you retired, we can just troll around. But they're actually driving somewhat properly. But yeah, all of this stuff might look easy for the spectator, but actually driving this and actually remembering everything, especially all of the mazes in the tubes where everything just looks the same and you have no orientation whatsoever. This is really, really difficult. So a GG to everyone that even tried in first place. And especially big GG for those that made it this far. So Skandir now coming closer to the red area. Wait, where did... Hello? Skandir missed the entry. Good morning, sir. A little bit of a time loss for Skandir. Bensword has caught up 1 second. But it doesn't matter after all. There he goes for the respawn. And the final straight coming up. It will still be a good time by Skandir, that's for sure. Probably just above 740. So Skandir still with a good time and secures himself a spot in the grand finals against Bensword. Belgium versus France in the RPG NightCup number 19. Who is going to take it home? Who will win glory and the right to brag? 740.459 for Skandir. GLHF, the grand final of the RPG NightCup number 19, Skandir versus Bensword, will begin now. And Bensword with an early mistake. He already lost time on the first balancing act. Is that the pressure already? 1 second lost on a straight. So he's already finding himself a little bit in the back. Skandir off to a good start. So you can see that Skandir is going for some Neo slides. Bensword as well, but in a different pattern. Now we have to flip. Well done by both. Skandir extends his lead just by a little bit, from 1.1 to 1.3 seconds. So, not too exciting of a start as of now. Bensword creeping in close, has gained half a second on Skandir. And now it is about avoiding the walls. Who of these players are gonna do it better? And you can always hear whenever Bensword is pressing his analog stick too hard, he is initiating the very annoying horn. So whenever there's a hard turn or some sort of drift where he accidentally pushes his analog stick down too hard and actually clicks it, then he will horn. Well, yeah, very good fight right here. Bensword has come a little closer and he gets the speed and passes Skandir. Bensword up to first place and Skandir down to second. Really risky stuff by Bensword, but it did pay off. And he extends his lead with some more risky drifts around the left-hand corner. Onto the grass we go. Bensword with good speed up the stairs. Bensword, the new leader of this race. Some slightly different approaches here. But both with the same speed. Skandir hitting the wall on the right side at the exit. Bensword will extend his lead with that. And the gap should be around a second now at the next checkpoint. Let's have a look. The checkpoint should come right about now. And we have 1.4 seconds between Bensord and Skandir. Skandir hitting his forehead a little bit, entering the well. But this is nothing that could cause a GG. This is still not decided yet. Skandir now onto the ceiling. Bensord with a comfortable lead. Going for the respawn. 1.8 seconds now. Skandir not with the greatest of exits. Barely makes the jump, so Bensord might actually extend his lead by just a little bit. Now the uphill will be important. Will Skandir make it? Yes, he will, but also Bensord made it, and 2.9 seconds, so Bensord got it really nicely, and Bensord improves and extends his lead by another second. Of course, Skandir didn't have the best speed, as we have some lag right here, but yeah, Skandir continues to lose time. .7 seconds. Nothing has happened in those magnetic waterfalls. But we're only 4 minutes into the track. We still have halfway to go. And Skandir is creeping in closer, but he gets stuck a little bit. Loses his momentum, but he gained a second on Bensord. He is coming a little bit closer again. Skandir pushing it. Respawn. Suck. And up the next waterfall we go. Don't want to get stuck here. We have seen players get eliminated because of this. Next lag. What is happening? That is not so cool. Bensord might be a bit less laggy. And he remains in the lead. 3.4 seconds. So Skandir apparently has made a little mistake again. Bensord taking advantage. And is about to win. But here he is again. Bensord lost all of his time. And it is very close again as we go through the pipe section now. This is neck and neck all of a sudden. Bensord has lost 2.5 seconds in that sector. This is all of a sudden very close again. Bensord with a small chunk. And lost precious time. Skandir up his heels again. Both making the jump, but Bensord not with the greatest landing. The gap remains around the same though. Bensord slowing down to get this sector. Skandir as well does it really well. 0.99 seconds, both going to the left. And we're almost 6 minutes into the track. This is going to be exciting here. We have a great round for the final. Bensord versus Skandir. Bensord still holding strong. Skandir trying his best. Going for those inside lines. Doesn't really get the best speed for the straight though. Bensord might extend his lead just by a little bit. What is the checkpoint going to say? We're going from 9900s to 2.1 seconds. Bensord with a great sector, but Skandir gets through the mesh pretty well. And he will most likely come a little bit closer again. Through the next pipe we go. Bensord losing a little bit of speed, and Skandir has taken 1 second from Bensord again. It is neck and neck. It is a back and forth. Everyone losing, everyone gaining. It is a ping pong right here. For the grand final. This is super exciting, but Bensord still holding strong. Skandir pushing it to the limits right here, and this is less than a second. This is less than a second right now. Bensord now dropping down into the checkpoint respawn. Skandir doesn't really get it immediately, and he will lose a second with that. Skandir with a terrible drop into the checkpoint, and he will lose 1 second with that. Will that be the GG? But Bensord loses time! Bensord loses time, and he's now second place. Not sure what happened to Bensord, but Skandir's now up to first place. Bensord has dropped down to second place and lost 2 seconds. More than 2 seconds left for Bensord, and we are coming closer to this finish. What is happening? The pressure is getting both of the people. Bensord now, maybe with a little bit more speed as we go down the freewheel section. Skandir still in the lead, and we have the respawn now. Half a second, and we're coming to the last straight with half a second between the finalists. This is going to be decided at the end. Who's going to get the better ending now? We have the water bounce now. Boop! Skandir in the lead. This is gonna be super exciting. Who's gonna risk it for the biscuit? It will all be about speed management and grip management in the last corner. Skandir in the lead with 58 hundredths of a second. Bensword going to the right, Skandir to the left. Bensword takes a bath! And it's GG. Skandir wins this RPG NightCup number 19. And Bensword throws it away. But that was an insane final right there. GG. Skandir winning with a 7.43.7. Great, great stuff. GG. Bensword taking a bath of shame. Maybe he could have taken it. Maybe with a crazy ending he could have made it happen. Because I actually didn't see how good Skandir's end was. But Bensword had to risk it. He went for the risk. It did not pay off. But a second place for Bensword, I think, is a very, very good result. Skandir wins in front of Bensword. And third place goes to Nano. That is going to be the podium for RPG NightCup number 19. GG.